is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you are ready for today. Today could get just a little bit volatile for sure. Let's just go on my YouTube comments. Why is there? Oh, okay. Couldn't see the chat pane before, but that's some volatility already out of the gate from YouTube land. But now I see it. Now I see it. Now we're back. It's all good. But I think I still got this here. Cool. Just making sure that everything is up and running. All right, perfect. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Nope. YouTube is there. We go. All right, up to date. Up to date. But yeah, we should have some volatility today in the market. We are rallying. It looks like out of the gate, but 10 a.m. So about 58 minutes from now, we will get some consumer sentiment from Michigan. Not sure what that does for the overall market, if the market's going to like it, hate it, or be absolutely indifferent to it. But we should get that out of the gate today. So be careful when you are in trades. You got about 30 minutes from opening bell until that comes in. Make sure you guys move your stops, or just at least be aware before getting into a trade that could come out and violently swing a trade into a different direction. Otherwise, we do have we had a bearish engulfing day yesterday. We didn't quite get the close below Wednesday's candle. Just close at the bottom, have a little bit of a bull trap in here. And we are gap and going into a little bit of resistance, which would be yesterday's VPOC. So if this market can get above 435.39, that would be a decent spot to say, okay, but I think we might have the ability to at least hit Friday's highs. And then if not Friday's highs and we start to break out, I would be gunning for about 438.68 on in terms of targets for the SPY. So as long as we could get above there, yeah, I think all hands on deck. A little bit to the bullish side. We'll go through probably why in a second, but Qs do have a gap up, a little bit more high wave-ish, good wick on both sides, about the same size on yesterday's candle for the Qs. This one is still bearish engulfing candle. This one, though, also is above all the VPOCs. We still are in an uptrend on the Qs. Nothing really changed there. Look for support at 369.70. If that one starts to break down, you still have a decent area of support here all the way down to 369.26 to get some kind of a bounce off of. If that one breaks, that's going to give us a lot more room to the downside. That would take us to 366.21. Otherwise, to the higher side of things, the next real area of resistance is 371.24. And I mean, we've been to that area. I'm looking for, if this is an extremely bullish day. We didn't really hit 374.14. If this day is absolutely crazy bullish, which it could be, I think it depends on what that 10 a.m. consumer sentiment looks like. Here's the one that's very interesting. So we had a pretty bearish day yesterday on TLT. But all of that was really just a retest. I was seeing, and I think we pretty much nailed where this thing could pull back to. I think we're within a few pennies as to where we thought TLT could pull back to. That has done it. Hit those spots. There was one spot a little bit lower we could have retested, but that one again was kind of retested already. So this is still potentially the beginning of an uptrend, a little bit of reversal. At least worst case, maybe a little bit of relief rally for TLT. And if TLT can rally, that will give us signs that maybe, I mean, I still think we probably get another 0.25 rate hike in November. But that could change the tone of Jerome Powell if TLT does start to rally prior to him. So that would be very important to watch. That would give him more, I think, a little bit more hopium on how he words things, and we're probably still going to be data dependent, but just how he answers his questions might be a little bit more to the positive of, we're likely going to stop. We're considering it. We don't know. Give us a little something, J Powell. Give us a little something. But yeah, if we get a rally, watch out though on TLT. We are also hitting a little resistance here too. That's going to be 88.02. If 8802 could break, we're not really out of the woods yet. We got a whole bunch of areas over here. I think to the high side would be about 8886. And so we got a whole bunch we got to get through. And I mean, again, as much as I like to think that this could be a potential little rally, you got some moving averages coming down, and this could throw us into a chop. Maybe, I mean, for a while, we might have to balance out here for a little bit in order to get that break. We'll see when that break actually comes. And I mean, if we're in here for the next 2 weeks, just kind of chopping between 88.77 and back to 86 to 32 until Jerome Powell comes out. Okay, that could make some sense too, but we'll have to see again where those bonds look. And maybe if consumer sentiment is decent, that could help push that TLT a little bit higher too. So we'll see what happens there. WTI. So there was a comment in YouTube. I'll read them. There was a comment. Could we start covering WTI? So this is the ETF for crude. Just to get an idea for the markets. I was like, yeah, you know what? Crude could definitely move markets. So we'll see what happens there. But right now, crude, we do have a 3-bar reversal. So double bottom on WTI. Let's see. Gotta get my pen thing moved over. There it is. But WTI, so this could be number 1 double bottom, which looks good. And then this would be, I would say probably 3-bar reversal as long as this candle holds, but that could look like a nice little hammer. We do have resistance. So if this one could push probably a little bit higher than, we got that one moving average right there. So if this thing starts getting to about 78.04, that should get some kind of a pop there. And I think that would help to also bring the markets just a tad a little bit higher, just a little bit. Big resistance on this one should come in somewhere around $88.03. All right, those are the indices. We got Tesla. If you guys have any other stocks that you guys want to take a look at, make sure you guys throw that into the chat pane, and we will get to looking at that one. So Tesla, we can take these off. I also got some fibs on there because it's not. I mean, this is the first day I've ever looked at Tesla. Tesla is gapping up with the markets, not too much. Actually, we're just dead flat now with that last tick. So now the market tries to make me look like a liar. But yeah, we're dead flat with Tesla, still a little bit to the weaker side. We did get a nice bounce off the moving averages. On a daily basis, all those moving averages are stacked. So you get the lower time frames followed by slightly higher, followed by slightly higher, followed by slightly higher. So still definitely bullish direction on Tesla. It's going to be, I think, if people are looking for a head and shoulders on this thing, I think it will take a little bit longer than expected to probably break down. Realistically, we got a lot of support on each level to surpass. And then we do have 245.32, which I think is going to be a very, very strong support for Tesla. And maybe the last dance for the bulls, if they could save it there, that's where they're going to want to. So we'll see what happens, but not really any real crazy bounce yet. I'd be looking for, we do have one level of resistance. I don't know how strong it's going to be, but 259.78 would be our first stop. If that could break, then we have a decent trade up to 263.69. Is this market really going to be strong enough to break this level? We got 2 VPOCs. We got an obvious curve over here. Every time we get back into this resistance, I think that's good advantage for the bears at that point. So you'd be looking to go short 263.91, throw your stop right above that red candle high, so somewhere around 269.22. And then if you do have that big collapse in Tesla and we do start selling off and things get really crazy, really ugly, you've got a really good price point to go short right there. So we'll see, but we'll kind of just flat, nothing really too crazy on Tesla out of the gate. Was there any news on Palantir? We'll check. PLTR. Palantir. Palantir's up 6 cents. Yeah, I think pre-market was moving a little bit better. Got us into the positive zone, but I don't really see anything too crazy. Yeah, so from the lows, we've been moving 17.66 all the way up to $18, which is where we stand now. So nice little bounce after a gap down. This shows me that there is definitely some buyers. I mean, we broke all that kind of after hour support. We came down, nice little bounce right off support. To me, this would look a little bit more like a pennant pattern. So let's get a quick line on this chart too, just to get some kind of idea. So if this is our pennant pattern, then technically we broke here. We actually retested perfectly into that. So that's a pretty important little, I was going to say hammer, but more high wave. We do have our VPOC up higher. We just broke there. We came back for retest. So everything kind of looks good. I think if we could get it off of like $17.96, this one should have momentum. If we look at WTI, so WTI today, this one is starting to push up a little bit higher as well. I think a lot of this has to do with TLT, right? Any of these smaller companies today, I think are going to be good candidates to trade in the bullish direction, providing that TLT does stay up higher. So anything with debt, again, when TLT starts to rise, or I should say when interest rates start to rise, anybody sitting there with a lot of debt, typically it's a lot of, and Palantir is a little bit different. They don't really have, I mean, they have debt, but they could legit pay it. Like they're actually in decent financial shape. But if the higher these interest rates go, companies that have a lot of debt out there will have to, once those terms of that loan is up, they have to try to renew it, and they're going to have to renew it all at higher interest rates, which means they don't have enough money to really invest the same way into their company to grow the way that they did before. The biggest candidates of any of those are any of these not big, huge, massive tech companies, but smaller tech companies, right? Mid cap, small cap tech companies are sitting on, for the most part, relatively large debt into the companies, which makes sense, especially as a newer starter company, something that's trying to grow, compete, reinvest in themselves over and over again. They have a lot of debt. So if TLT does rise, and I think this is where you'll, I don't know why I went to WTI again, but a lot of these smaller companies will have the ability to say, okay, well, at least if rates are steady, we get an idea of where we could get our rates at. We could come up with something more solid of how much we're going to invest. When rates are just been rising for the last, I would say, the last 2 years, I guess, nonstop, it's very hard to predict and come up with a business plan because all of your cost to financing is a lot more, a lot different within 6 months than you previously thought. So it's very hard to predict. But if we can at least stay flat, that's going to give any of those guys with large debt at least some hope. And then that will give us, the longer we stay flat, you got the hope of, okay, maybe the rates start coming down and those guys kind of get back to businesses as usual. We have XOM. So that one is nice little gap up. Yesterday was a gap and go. So it was bullish sentiment. All of this was the retest. We came in. We didn't quite get down all the way to Wednesday's VPOC, but 105.69. You're staring at 200 in the face. You've got that 200 right there. I do like the fact that we're above at least this VPOC. So 107.70. I would expect a little chop, but with bullish momentum. So I think that bullish momentum, maybe not right out of the gate, but look for a little bit later today. And maybe this is a good candidate to wait for the consumer sentiment reports to come out. Maybe that's enough momentum into the market, and you've already kind of sat on your hands for long enough where taking XOM bullish, providing I would say anywhere above. I would almost want to see 107.88 break, come back, retest, and then I think that would give us a good move up to, I don't know, maybe 110, somewhere up in that zone. But yep, XOM looks pretty decent. We got to push that a little bit higher on the list. I would also say it's a good candidate for that red, especially if we open right here where we're at now, this 107.85, and then we get a red candle. This would definitely be a candidate to take the break higher for that red candle. So that's not bad. Amazon does have a little gap up. Kind of looks like the rest of the market, still inside day. Kind of also opening into a little resistance. I would say if this one opens a little bit higher, 133.19 or above, we do have room. I think everybody's kind of looking for that gap fill. We tried to do it here. Bullish has definitely been in the direction. We had a big sell day yesterday, And Amazon still stayed green. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green days in a row. I would assume everybody is targeting this 135.29, and then we're probably looking for 136.38. But that showed us a little bit of strength as the market was absolutely just selling off like crazy, and we got up to at least the high of the day for we get to the high of the day every day on everything, so that doesn't make sense. But 134.48 was the high of the day yesterday. I would definitely think that could be a target that we could hit. Amazon is going to go up higher as well. And keep in mind that they were probably looking strong until the entire market started to tank, which really came around the 30-year bond auction. So, yeah, I think target in the high of day for yesterday with that bullish momentum still held up pretty well yesterday. And then you have the entire market come down and we still stay green. Yeah, I can see a little follow through on that one. That looks good. Seems to be going sideways. I'm not sure what that was a comment to. I'm just catching up to the YouTube chat, so classified. Not sure what ticker you were looking at. Happy Friday. Rockstars Lurkins in the house. Good morning to you. Yeah, Palantir. I would probably continue to stick with the bullish momentum on Palantir. I like all that pre-market action at least. You do have to be cautious if you are taking Palantir bullish. You can't ignore there's 2 big wicks, not quite tweezer tops, but if you're trading and you're looking for, hey, I'm gonna try to bail out at 1840. That's a good sell price. Or if we do want to continue this bullish momentum, keep in mind war is good for Palantir. I mean, that's their market. They could get a lot of government contracts anytime a war breaks out. So war is very, very good for Palantir. And right now it doesn't seem like anything's settling down. So, but yeah, 1840. In a worst case, if you're not taking everything, take partials there and then see if you could break. And if it could break, I think $20 is not unreasonable. Do we hit it today? I don't know. That might be asking too much. Boeing down on the day. So everything else is gapping up. Boeing does not want to participate. I believe Boeing had a report out saying that they have to. I don't know if it was Boeing that put it out, but key facts market capital. What is this? I just want the news. Now we're back at Tesla. Hold on a second. But yeah, no, they have to take a look at some of the stuff that's not been working correctly with some of the planes and yada yada yada. There we go. Update Boeing Spirit Airlines reported. So yeah, so they needed more inspection. That's the word. More inspection for some of their planes, and that's not going to be good for them. So they cannot catch a break. By the way, if you're looking for a company that does have outstanding amount of debt, you look no further than Boeing. So these guys, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to rally unless TLT does pull back strong. This is a retest gap here at support. So as much as they do have piles of debt, they have bad news. This one probably actually gets a rally, I would think. Question is, I don't know how far this one could rally. You do got some good resistance right here at 187.89. This is a retest gap. We do have yesterday's VPOC at 191.86. But the real question is, can this thing get past 187.80? If the bulls are strong enough to get past there, or at least you have enough people selling to take profits that can get it past this 187.80, then we I think rally. We kind of close this gap today. Otherwise, I think we probably stall out somewhere 187.89, and then that's really not a good gap for them. So I don't know how well this retest gap is going to retest. And they do have a ton of issues right now as well. So that's not going to help the overall longer-term picture for them too. Roku. Roku's another company with just sitting on a lot of debt. Just what I'm not happy about for these guys. Right now, though, death and destruction candle that we got yesterday, that was a horrific close to yesterday, below all VPOCs. But here's what I would say. Put my trading hat on, not my investing hat. You got tremendous risk reward to a bullish side. You might lose. There's a good shot you lose on this trade. But I think we could all see where we'd put stops on this trade. Ultra aggressive would be under yesterday's candle. I would probably play it a little different. So I would look for maybe a stop at, do something like this maybe. So stop down here. See, throw a stop here. You got your buy location somewhere right around here. I don't know why I can't figure out the screens today. Bullish, that should get you a decent target. I think you got resistance up until somewhere in this zone. So targets could be somewhere about there. That gives you at least a 1.2, probably 1.5 in that range somewhere. But that would look like a decent trade. And I think with this trade, providing that this stock does not just bell rings, this thing rolls out of bed and it just absolutely dies, I think you very quickly could take your stop from here, go up to here. Now you're losing very, very little. You're risking very little on this trade to play it bullish. And this would just be contrarian thought of, all right, you do have the market rallying. We're not quite breaking down, even though that's an absolutely horrific gap. Be prepared to lose, but I think you could probably lose less than an R. In fact, you could even set this trade up. I would do about the same there. Yeah, I'd keep my stop. I probably would keep a stop maybe here if I want to get a little bit less aggressive than throwing it all the way down here. That gives you much better risk reward. Now you're probably sitting at a potential 2R trades. I think you still have the same phenomenon where you could just move that stop up a little bit if this candle starts to break down. But yeah, that's a horrific candle. My thought process is probably goes bullish today. We will see. We got Google, GOOGL. Not a crazy gap on Google. So just sitting inside day, gapping up about 26 cents for right now. We'll see where the bell wants to ring on this thing. You do have a good support. We bounced off that support yesterday. I think the stop placement would be probably in here. So having some kind of stop at like 138.24. I don't know if I'd want to go bullish on this one. I don't really see too much where I really want to go bullish. I really don't want it to break down yesterday's opening price range either. Honestly, that would be I think if we break yesterday's opening price, then I think this is VPOC over here. 138.61 is a good candidate to look. It is inside day though, a little bit choppy, not quite a bearish engulfing candle. We got very close to it. Bulls tried to save it a little bit. It's been up a lot, could pull back. I think this one's going to depend highly on the market. If the market wants to stay bullish, which right now I'm looking at the SPY on a 5-minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 candles bullish on the SPY. I don't know who's excited to buy something today out of the gate. Maybe a little bit of a pullback. I would still be bullish today. And then depending on what happens with this consumer sentiment report, if you're going to get some kind of big explosion in the market, that's where that would probably come. But we got Apple, lots of days up higher. Same thing inside day. I think targets to the high end of yesterday would make sense. 182.33. If it does feel like it's in the mood to break that, you do have 182.90. I think that's going to be strong resistance on that. Otherwise, still just kind of inside day. I think we covered everything. John Alonzo wants to take a look at Netflix. Netflix been weak sauce last few days. I got one level over here which could give it a little support. 355.92. I have a magic number here of 358.38. We're gapping below this. This is a retest gap, but I don't really trust the retest on it. I think we might use this level right here as support. It's 356.10. If we could use 356.10, hang into that zone, that would give us a bullish side, but I don't even know if we come all the way back and do a full-on retest today, to be honest. I think we got a lot of resistance in the way, even up to maybe like 359.75, and that would at least cover the bottom wick. I think that's our best case scenario. But yeah, this is a retest gap, so I wouldn't go bearish right out of the gate. See if there's a little pop, and then I think this has a Absolutely insane amount of room to the downside if this thing can get going. Retested it pre-market already. Yep. Right into that magic number. It's amazing how that works. Crazy. Was that to the penny? Oh, no. I got to get better. I got to get better at my magic lines. I think I missed it by like 2 pennies. That's crazy. That's great. I've had this line on here for months. And just random day in October. That seems like the spot. But yeah, that's not good. What I would look at is this looks like a 5 wave count. So 1, 2, this is even this 5 wave count is gonna be tough. I'm not sure how to call this one. I'll give you both scenarios. This could be 1, 2, 3, 4. We get one more bounce into magic number, 358.38, and then we start to roll. That could be a wave count. The other one I'm looking at that maybe it is, and that's gonna be tougher. But 1, 2, 3, that's a small 4, 5 ABC, and now we start just kind of one wave down. If we're looking much smaller timeline, that would be it. But yeah, so far magic number worked perfect. Okay, I don't know. All right, what else do we got? What other tickers you guys want to take a look at? I'm out. We've run the list dry. Right now, at least on Netflix, it looks like that small wave 4 was the one from pre-markets. But yeah, you got a lot of room down to the downside. Jenny 8675309 SBUX Starbucks. Just hanging out. You do have good support. We are obviously below. I think we get Chop Fest. Watch the level of $91. So if it starts to break $91, there's your trade. That would take us down to like 89.52. Until we hit that, we probably hit a little bit of resistance or support, and or chop. We got resistance above us, 91.33. So yeah, I think that's going to be a little bit choppy out of the gate. I think more emphasis to the bearish side of this one, but not really until this thing breaks down a little bit further. So we'll see if this level right here wants to hold. We did hold it once, so it's the whole level's a little bit weaker. Not participating with the market's rally whatsoever. We should have a lot more room to the downside. Yeah, we're a little bit of chop fest here. And this has got us going, man. If we could get past that 91, we could get to $90.65, break that next target, 89.75. It's one little level, and then we got $88. So I think we got a little more room to the downside on this one. But everybody out there in YouTube land, you guys are absolutely incredible. XLE. Yeah, Boeing is definitely weak. Boeing's weak. XLE is a nice little gap up as well. So everything oil, Exxon Mobil, same thing, kind of moving a little bit to the bullish side. That's a good one. I like where this opens. If this opens here, we do have some resistance coming in. Otherwise, I think real target on this one could get up to about $90.33. Everybody out in YouTube land, you guys are absolutely incredible. Man, I appreciate you guys. If you guys have not already, hit the like and subscribe button. It just makes YouTube happy, really. I'm just here for YouTube. But you guys are awesome. Have a great weekend. Stay safe in the market.